So if you're just joining us, this is what has been unfolding in the war between Israel and the Gaza Strip that is controlled by the Hamas group. The Israeli military claims that it is preparing for the next stage of this war with the Hamas group, as hostilities have now entered into the 9th day. The Israeli troops are getting up for strikes from land, air and sea. Remember, Gaza is a tiny strip of land and Israel has completely surrounded it. And what is expected to happen, and this can happen any moment from here on, is that there could be a potential ground incursion by the Israeli troops. According to reports that have come in, an estimated 2,300 people have been killed in the tiny Gaza Strip. Now, these are bodies that have been pulled out from underneath the rubble of the buildings that have been destroyed in this relentless campaign of air raids that the state of Israel has carried out. And WION's correspondent Siddhant Sibil and also our video journalist Sanjeet Tiwari are at the spot in the city of Sderot, the Israeli city of Sderot, and they are getting us live updates in terms of what, of course, is happening there. Now, the latest rocket sirens were heard near the Gazan border town of Nahal Oz. There are no reports of any damage or injuries. Remember, Hamas has these very crude and rudimentary rockets in its disposal. The southern border city of Sderot is being evacuated as the country is preparing for a ground incursion into the tiny Gaza Strip. The Israeli Defense Forces are saying that they want all Gazans to in fact leave from their homes from the northern part of Gaza and to flee to southern part of Gaza by 1 p.m. local time. And this has come on the back of the massive military deployment in the southern part of the state of Israel. Meanwhile, this is what the scene looks like in Gaza. People are fleeing desperately with whatever they can carry, and in often, most number of cases, with just the clothes on their back. The Israeli Defense Forces have announced that they will not, this is what the Israelis claim, that they will not target the corridor being used by the Gaza residents who are fleeing from their homes. Now, the IDF spokesperson has said, and I quote, the IDF will refrain from targeting the designated access between 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. The IDF has requested the Gazan residents to take advantage of this short period of time to move to the south from the northern Gaza Strip into the city of Khan Yunis in the southern part of Gaza. Many of those who are fleeing from this incoming onslaught by the Israelis are saying that this reminds them of the incidents that happened 7 decades ago of the Nakba, and they're saying this is effectively, it feels to them that this is the second Nakba that they are living through. Now, the Israeli announcement has come as Israel continues to carry its air raids, the relentless air raids that it has done. And the northern border of the state of Israel is also heating up. There are reports of certain hostilities, limited hostilities that have broken out along the southern border of Lebanon with the state of Israel. There have been reports of firing, and the Israelis claim that the Israeli forces have decided to isolate the area up to 4 kilometers from the northern border with Lebanon. Now, the Israeli Defense Forces clarified that they are entering into this area is strictly prohibited for the common people. Now, the United States of America, that has stoutly backed the state of Israel in this war so far and has been giving more and more weapon supplies to the Israelis for it to be used on the Gaza Strip, has dispatched another of its warships. And it has said that this ship is also something that the United States wants to use to evacuate U.S. citizens. The ship is going to take the U.S. nationals and their families from the Haifa port in Israel to Cyprus tomorrow. The boarding shall take place between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. local time. The Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong has confirmed the new chartered and military flights for citizens. These flights being scheduled to pick up Australians from Israel. The travel advisory has urged Australians to consider the first available option for departure. The Chinese foreign minister has said that Israel's actions in Gaza have now gone beyond the scope of self-defense and that the Israeli government must cease its collective punishment of the people of Gaza. Now, Wong made the comments on a call to his Saudi Arabian counterpart, saying that all parties should not take any action that would escalate the situation further. On ground zero, Israel has amassed an estimated 360,000 troops and has completely surrounded the Palestinian territory of Gaza. Remember, this is a mobilization that is bigger than what the Russians had mobilized when they carried out their invasion into Ukraine in the initial days. Now, Israel has given an ultimatum to all Palestinians living in the Gaza Strip that they should evacuate the northern part of Gaza completely and they should move to the south, this ahead of a full-blown land invasion by the Israelis. And Israeli cities meanwhile come under some sporadic incidents of rocket fire from Gaza, with Tel Aviv having been hit by a crude rudimentary rocket overnight. On the other hand, Hamas has told the people that this is just psychological warfare that Israel is waging. This is what large parts of Gaza have been completely reduced to. Neighborhood after neighborhood has been bombed to smithereens. Now, Hamas has said that the roads at this moment are in fact unsafe. And the group has alleged that dozens of people have been killed in Israeli strikes while they were trying to flee from northern Gaza, looking for some kind of a safe refuge in the southern part of the Gazan territory. Now, considering the situation in Gaza, the European Commission has announced that it is tripling its current humanitarian assistance to almost about $79 million. The European Union decided earlier in the week to maintain aid for the Palestinians, backtracking after a commissioner said that the European Commission was putting all of its developmental aid for the Palestinians under review. And this is, of course, the visual of the skyline, the Gazan skyline at this moment. Remember, Gaza has been experiencing relentless air raid from the Israelis, and this, of course, is something that is expected to continue. And our correspondent Siddhant Sibil has sent us this report from the Israeli city of Sderot about how Israel is preparing its ammunition and its tanks and its troops, ground troops, for a potential invasion. Take a look.
I'm here in Sderot, a southern Israeli town which was the ground zero of the Hamas attack. Today, this town is a ghost town with no civilians present. All of them have been evacuated, and this area is very close to the Gaza border. Since morning, we have seen palpable tension on the ground. We have seen troop movement happening, the movement of the tanks towards southern Israel, and heavy artillery as well here in Sderot, where there was violence, the terror attack by Hamas. We saw how essentially there are bullets on the roads, and there are vehicles with bullet marks, but that is something that shows that how brutal was the terror attack. The country is still reeling under the terror attack, and there are worries over the evacuation of several Israeli nationals who have been taken as hostages by Hamas in Gaza. But Israel has made it clear that it will take strong action against Gaza, and it has been calling that the Gazans should leave northern part of Gaza Strip towards southern part, but that can lead to a major humanitarian challenge and a crisis. With video journalist Sanjeet, Siddhant Sibil for WION in Sderot, southern Israel.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.